Ew, I can't believe you're using a strength build. They're so overrated. Use an intelligence build or a dex build instead.
Shut the up. Today we're going to find out just how broken strength builds can be, and if intelligence and dex users are just overreacting, which they most likely are. Like, come on guys, how broken can strength be? It's strength.
Then touch the darkness.
So I did what any normal person would do and started a new playthrough, and I gave my character a fitting name, because everyone knows if you use a strength build, your Johnson is just absolutely ginormous. And unfortunately my tutorial footage did not capture. So starting from the high wall of Lothric, I did a bit of parkour across some rooftops. And then I reached the boss. I know this boss off by heart. It's just pretty easy. Stay behind him and smack his sack. That's it. He really has no way of attacking you if you're behind him. Or just underneath him, really. Dealing insane strength damage helps as well. Second phase is just as easy. Just watch out for his dashing attacks. And when he shoots ice out of his mouth, that's your best opportunity to attack him. And just like this, Vort of the Boreal Valley goes down without any trouble. After defeating Vort, I head back to Firelink to level up. And yes, I know what you're going to say, I did put all my points into strength. I go back to Lothric Castle to pick up an Estus shard I missed. And I use this banner and get transported to my absolute favourite place in this game. Me, I absolutely hate this place. It's so shit. It's like Blighttown but worse. Does anyone else agree that this is the worst area in Dark Souls 3? I rush through this shithole as fast as I possibly can because I really need to get past this so I can get to a weapon that I'll be using for the rest of this playthrough. I run straight past the boss arena, firstly because I don't need to kill that boss for anything in this playthrough. We might come back for souls later, but secondly, I really need to get to this weapon that I need. I narrowly escape my death and make it to this elevator. And Sigurd nearly gets killed. I hope you guys like my custom character I made. I reach the Road of Sacrifices, and I'm sure you can probably guess what weapon I'll be using. I reach my prized possession and then realise that I need Dex to use it, so I go for plan B, which is the Giga Chad Greatsword. I also extinguish a few fires on the way. Now I am underleveled for this area, so I return to the Cursed Rotten Greatwood. I'm about to endure peak bullshit. Never in my life have I found such a shit boss so difficult. I walked back to Firelink to upgrade my Estus a few times. I also grinded for the Giga Chad Greatsword. And finally, after many long and tedious attempts, the Cursed Rotten Greatwood comes down. After that I headed back to Andre to level up my sword to +1, and returned to Farron Keep, also one of my most least favourite areas in this game. Then I pick up my first undead bone shard, and head up this ladder to Old Wolf Farron. From there I take a elevator up and meet a familiar friend. It's the Asylum Demon from Dark Souls 1. I thought I'd be able to beat this thing first try, because you know I've only beat it like 100 other times in Dark Souls 1. And I literally made a guide on it, that video's on my channel. But I was wrong, and I died. A lot. I put the Stray Demon in its place. After leveling up, I walk over to Farron Keep again to try the Abyss Watchers. I get my ass handed to me, but don't worry, I'll be back for these guys later. I make my way over to the Crystal Sage and make him say hello to my little friend. It was at this point in the video when I realised I do insane damage. Just look at his health bar just get absolutely deleted by my sword. I told you I'd be back. These guys are kind of tough, but when your sword just obliterates their health bar, it makes them laughably easy. But I did almost die. That's just a skill issue on my part though. And just like that, the first Lord of Cinder is dead. I walk back to the Crystal Sage bonfire and make my way over to the Cathedral of the Deep. I run past everything and make my way over to the first bonfire. After doing some more running, I reach the cathedral and meet Slave Knight Gale the first time. Does anyone else find this bit one of their least favourite parts of the game? We have to run through this whole cathedral to try and unlock the shortcut back to the bonfire. You've just got all the enemies chasing you, and you'll get swarmed if you try and fight them one by one. You could have tried and just run past all of them without being killed. It's kind of like Dark Souls 2 level design a little bit. After at least 2 attempts, I unlock the shortcut and reunite with Gale. I take the elevator up, run past every enemy, pick up the Lloyd's ring, and make my way over to the Deacons of the Deep. There's not really much to be said about this boss. It's just find the enemy with the glowing light around them, press R1 and you win. It's more of a puzzle than an actual boss fight, and they go down without any issues on my first attempt. Slightly annoying that they made this a mandatory boss, but at the same time, when it's this easy, it doesn't really matter. I just want to say quickly, if you are enjoying this video, please consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing. It helps me out a ton and it will help me make more videos like this in the future. I head over to Farron Keep again and go through the secret door in the back of the Abyss Watcher arena. And I make my way through the catacomb, again running past every enemy. Eventually I find a bonfire after a couple of attempts. After being chased by a giant rat, I eventually make it to Wolnir. There's also nothing much to be said about this boss fight. It's kind of long because you have to wait for him to put his hands in reach where you can hit them. If it wasn't for that, this boss would maybe take 30 seconds max. And with one final swing, Wolnir goes down. I grab this bonfire before warping back to Firelink to level up. I also upgrade my greatsword a few times.
Be careful.
And after putting more points into strength, I head back. I take some time to admire this amazing view, and then I continue my journey. I get ambushed by this dog on the bridge and run for my life to the next bonfire. Then guess what happened? I run past every enemy to the next bonfire. So after grabbing this bonfire, I headed down here and fall off the cliff. This is what 1,000 hours of Dark Souls looks like. And I pick up another undead bone shard. And then that dog ambushes me again, and I have to roll for my life to get out of there to the next bonfire. And I don't know how this dog always catches up to me so quickly. It goes from all the way over there to literally right up my arse in like a span of 5 seconds. I then head up some stairs through this castle thing, and then catch a black knight in the act. I didn't want to fight Pontiff Sullivan just yet, so I went down to the Smouldering Lake by breaking this bridge, and then I used it as a ladder. I thought the old Demon King would be easy, but it actually took me a lot of attempts, and I only just beat it. If I had made one wrong move here, or been a little bit late, I would have had to do it all again. But fortunately, I'm just built different, and the old Demon King goes down. After that, I go and take out this dog to get the Pontiff's right eye. When it's paired with the Pontiff's left eye, you become unstoppable. I jump onto Firelink's roof to get the Silver Serpent Ring. Then I head down into Ithril Dungeon, where I get jump scared by this hollow. Then I get kicked in the arse by this mimic, literally. Then I make my way over to Yhorm. There's also nothing much to be said, it's a gimmick boss, so I take it down on my second attempt. And just like that, the next Lord of Cinder has fallen. The fight against Pontiff Sullivan went really smoothly, considering I often struggle with this boss on my playthroughs. But it takes a lot of time to learn this guy because he can be quite unpredictable, but here it was different. It was just easy for once. In the second phase I got a bit greedy, but thanks to my greatsword I still managed to come out on top. I mean, this guy just gets absolutely obliterated. I think this is the fastest I've ever taken him down. This was like my second attempt. I took down this Mimic and make my way over to Anor Londo. I think it's really cool how you get to revisit places from Dark Souls 1. Then I find out that the giant blacksmith is dead, so I pay my respects to him. Aldrich was one of the bosses I struggled the most on my first playthrough, but he was just getting his arse handed to him, even though I died. So you know I had to run it back. Just look how much damage my sword did. The only thing I hate about this boss is his stupid arrow attack and how he spams magic, but apart from that all you have to do is just walk up to him and hit him. Just tank the damage really, and then he'll come out on top. And there we go, the next Lord of Cinder's down. Then I get teleported back to Lothric Castle to fight the Dance of the Boreal Valley. Am I the only one that would hit? This boss nearly made me quit on my first playthrough, but I take her down in less than a minute on my first attempt. That's the power of strength, I guess. I used to hate this boss, but the more and more I do it, it's just fun. The boss fight is kind of like a dance, and it's very well choreographed. And with minimal effort, the Dance of the Boreal Valley goes down. I then take this elevator and make my way down into the Consume King's garden. And I mean, Osiris is just a joke of a boss. I accidentally stumbled upon him on my first playthrough and killed him on my first attempt. And I got him on my first attempt this time as well. It's just, he charges around and barely hits you, and then eventually he just dies. I make my way up to Lothric Castle and have to deal with some bullshit. Next it was time for my favourite boss in the entire game, the Dragon Slayer armour. I just like everything about this fight, how they work the shield in, so you've got to wait for a specific time to hit him, and how well choreographed his attacks are, and they're very easy to follow, and just dodging his attacks are just fun in this fight. The only thing I don't like is when that stupid butterfly thing starts shooting magic down at you, but it's very easily avoidable. I do find this boss quite difficult, but it's not that difficult. I got him down in my first few attempts, but this fight really keeps you on your toes, and I only just beat him here. And there we go, the Dragon Slayer armourer is dead. I then went back to Ithril Dungeon and emoted with this dragon. It teleported me to Archdragon Peak and I take out the Ancient Wyvern for extra souls. When I picked up this Umbral Ash and then get absolutely ganked by all these enemies. I kinda hate this area, but it's not the worst. Next I went for an illusory wall behind Osiris' arena and found myself in the unattended graveyard. Champion Gundyr is another boss that I actually find difficult, and I actually died to him quite a few times. By quite a few I mean twice, but still, the fact that I beat the Dance of the Boreal Valley first try, and I struggle with a tutorial boss reskin. I don't think people talk about how fast this boss is enough. I know this footage is sped up, but even while playing it, this guy can catch up to you really quickly if you're trying to get away from him to heal. And the fact that they added new moves in just makes them unpredictable, like with the kicking and punching. But it was only a matter of time before Champion Gundyr was defeated. Next I gave the Firekeeper a Firekeeper's soul.
Then let it find its own place within my bosom.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia! Oh, hell no! That's
And I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, you said you were going to use the greatsword for the rest of the playthrough. That was never the plan. It was always the plan to use the Dragon Slayer Great Axe, just because it's just that good. Besides, this video is about strength being broken. Anyway, after doing some exploring, I found some Firekeeper eyes. I gave the eyes to the Firekeeper, and now I've unlocked my favourite ending. The good ending. And remember earlier when I said the Undead Settlement was the worst area? I think this beats it. I absolutely hate the Grand Archives. They're my least favourite area in the entire game. It's a bit of a shame because the boss at the end is my second favourite boss in this whole game. I picked up this Estus Shard. Don't even get me started on this run back. What is this enemy placement? What in the Dark Souls 2? Now this is arguably my favourite boss, but I don't know, I just prefer the Dragon Slayer Armourer. The only problem I have with it is the lock-on doesn't always lock on when they teleport. But it's just very well put together. And the moves are relatively easy to dodge, but sometimes they're bullshit. And the magic is very irritating as well. But it is one of the bosses that I struggle with. This one took me a very long time compared to all the others. And at least 20 attempts. But it was only a matter of time before I defeated them. And that's the final Lord of Cinder. And now, with nothing else left to do, apart from the Nameless King, which I'm not doing, it was time to head over to the final boss. This fight only took me 3 attempts, compared to the last boss, that is nothing. And it's surprising because it's the final boss and it's meant to be the most difficult, but not really. The attacks are very, very easy to read. It's easy to know when to dodge. There's that one attack that if you get caught in, it's kind of game over, where he flings you up in the air and slashes you a ton of times. But apart from that, this boss kind of causes me no issues. I'm going to shut up now because this fight is absolute cinema. And then you have it, Dark Souls 3 completed. Now this wasn't one of those videos where I only level strength. This was just to see how broken strength can be, just with a casual playthrough. And it's fairly balanced. It's a little bit broken in mid-game, but overall it's a very balanced playstyle. Anyway, thank you so much for watching until this point in the video, and if you want to see me do the DLCs.
Darkness will shortly settle.